Christmas decoration.
All right. Welcome to the December 4th meeting of the Waterboro Planning Board. Our first appointment tonight is a subdivision sketch plan for the Carpenter estate. But before we get into that, just for the board's information, Dwayne is in the butter on that property. And I just wanted to see if anyone felt there's a conflict of interest on that.
I think based on past meetings with Natalie, that it is best that you recluse yourself.
Fine. I don't mind sitting here, but I just won't vote.
Okay.
I think in that case you need to join the audience,
All right.
just for this.
If they'll let you.
Thank you. That's right. It's
Do
their
they vote
option.
first, or
They
do
have
we
to vote first.
first?
Yeah.
That's Dwayne.
Yeah, great. It's not the first time I've been kicked around. I'm going to sit with these guys. Yeah.
Now, is Francis LaPierre here tonight?
Yes.
Sorry, I know I just met you. Would you like to give us a little?
Sure. My name's Fran LaPierre.
Excuse me.
I'm with Coast Surveying. I'd like to introduce you to the applicants, Neil Haskell and Scott Carpenter. They represent their grandmother's estate, Helen Carpenter. They're proposing a 6-lot subdivision with a remainder parcel, and 2 of the lots are on the south side of the road on a separate parcel, and 4 lots on the north side of Clarksbridge Road on another parcel. With the remainder parcel on each side to stay with the farm. The lots range in size from about 1.8 acres to about 29 acres in the larger lots. On the north side of the road, there's a flood hazard area that's been shown on the sketch plan, and that came off of the current FEMA maps. There is also a zone boundary on the north side of the road. One is the agricultural residential, which is where the development would take place. And then the remainder that lies northerly of that zone boundary is the forest and agriculture zone. I also included, with the application, a copy of the deed and a copy of the permits that show the position of the flood hazard area. I don't know if you generally go through the application or...
I think Tom usually takes care of that. Has done that by this point.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Mr. Chairman and board members, you should have in your packet checklist, and there are 3 important notations that the board may want to respond to tonight. But I have reviewed it with Fran and have had several discussions with the applicant.
Regarding note 2, Tom suggested that we meet with the road commissioner, which we will do, and talk to him about any needs that he foresees in terms of the development of the lots. And we also would like to request some waivers, and I did bring copies of the formal requests. I don't know if you want to talk about any of those tonight, so that when we go to preliminary, we'll know what we need to provide.
I think we have those in our handouts too.
With the initial submission in November, I didn't have the forms, the individual forms prepared, but I do have those with me this evening. If I could hand those out.
Do you have in your packet the individual forms?
Do they? No.
No, okay. Mr. Chairman, what Fran is referring to is the board, about half a year ago, decided that it would be best to review waivers on an individual basis. Tina and I created a form, and since the submittal of the application in Fran's due diligence, she's prepared an individual request so the board can review, and when you feel like you want to act on each one individually, rather than carte blanche. So she has those copies now if the board would like them.
Let's see those tonight.
No, because we're in sketch plan now. So
Yeah. I guess before I would comment on it, I would want to do a site walk to see what's out there. I mean, I'm not familiar with this at all down that end. I haven't driven down there. I would have personally not the ordinance, but I would personally prefer to see a cluster division in there instead of a large lot subdivision, but that's up to the applicant, what the applicant wants to do.
I know that's a big issue with the road review committee right now, is all these curb cuts.
Well, I think that the curb cut issue is mostly on the main highways like Route 5 and Route 202. I personally don't feel there should be an interior road in this. That's my personal feeling. I think this plan is fine. I would prefer to see smaller lots and open space behind. I'd be a lot more agreeable to giving waivers if it was set up that way and have the open space out back, because you don't know if someone on lot 2 is going to build here or build way back here across the wetlands or right next to the flood hazard zone.
Well, the other thing that we could do to restrict the development area is place building envelopes on the plan with notes that restrict development
Yeah, and
to those
that
building
may-
envelopes.
It's kind of a compromise between them.
Yeah, it's kind of a, you're not gonna you don't necessarily do the cluster, and it gives the potential buyer their individual property, but it restricts where they,
But I know you're looking at getting site plan review waived.
well, there's 4 waiver requests.
Exactly,
Yeah,
And
I
one
mean,
of
I
them is
could
the soil
give these
intensity
to you.
survey. We don't know where the wetlands are. If this is a
Right.
flood hazard zone, water has to be going into there someplace.
It is.
Is it a brook coming this
Yeah.
way or that way? I have no concept of where that is right
Right,
now.
right.
So for me to say that I'm gonna give you a waiver on wetlands or anything like that, I don't feel comfortable doing that, not knowing where the drainage is going and where the water is going, and how much of this is a floodplain, so there has to be a wetland that's even bigger than that, around that floodplain.
There is. There is.
So I don't know where that is in
Right.
retrospect to this. If you approve the plan the way it is now, and the whole thing could be a building envelope, somebody could build right in the middle of the wetlands,
Right.
or cut across there, especially if we're not doing.
Right, and we
Problem
would
research.
restrict the building area.
Tom, I have just a stupid procedural question. Isn't this a 9-lot subdivision?
That's why I noted in note number 1.
Oh,
What they-
I'll read that next
what
time.
they-
Thanks.
What they've designated is 6 of the primary new outlots. But of course, we have to label as part of the whole parent parcel the remaining pieces of land that may be outparceled. There should be designated as lots, and they currently are not. That's easily remedied, but what they're just showing is 6 of the primary outparcels, but not the
State law
whole
says
parent.
if it's a lot of record for more than 5 years, it doesn't have to be part. When we subdivide land all the time, we subdivide remaining land of, and this is 2 separate parcels. You've got 27C and then 30A. So each of those lots were a lot of record for more than 5 years. So I would contend that those lots are entitled to have one division that don't count as part of the subdivision, and the rest of the lots are. And that's what I think. That's what I've
That was going
been
to be
taught.
my response to the remaining.
We've done this all over the state.
To the remaining land, that 8.5 acres would be the exempt
If it was
lot.
less than 5 years, I'd say yes, it has to be part of. Whereas if it's a lot of record for 5 years, you could make one division. And because they have 2 lots of record, one on each side of the road, they should be able to have one lot of, they should be able to carve, without even coming to the planning board, they can carve this piece in half, they can carve that piece in half.
What might be helpful to the board in the surveyor's research, it'd be easy to create a chronology of where the outparcels were, just to start with the parent parcel.
Right,
And
there's
then-
really just been one, and it is shown there, the Couture property, and that outsale was in February of 2007. So that's on the face of the plan.
And there are buildings on both of those lots?
There, yeah, the homestead, the farm is on the remaining piece to the west, and then to the east, on the Couture lot, they built a home there.
So what about the parcel on the other side of the road? Hasn't that been divided several times?
Yeah, those were quite a while ago, but I mean, I can put the dots.
If you look at the book, the County Register Deed, book 7,389, I mean, that is 10 years ago.
At
I mean,
least.
that's going way back, so you have to book 16,000 or 17,000.
Well, that's the original conveyance
Okay.
into Helen.
I'm basing my opinion that it's been 5 years based on that.
To eliminate any confusion or misunderstanding,
Right.
The spaghetti lot? Yeah.
To eliminate any confusion or misunderstanding, probably the applicant could easily prepare a chronology about sales, and then you'd have everything that has happened to the property, back to just a certain number of decades, of course. But the question still remains on the homestead if the planning board wishes to label that as a separate lot. Because it's a remainder parcel, if you will. So it's still a designated lot, even though it's an out parcel.
Oh, yeah, I'm just saying for numbering it. I'm sorry, yeah, just
Well, it makes a difference to the applicant, because if you take the remaining parcels, the remaining land that he's holding, that he's not bringing in front of planning board for review, it affects them if they ever want to subdivide that again, because now they're amending the subdivision plan versus just making another subdivision.
Right, and that's
So
why,
there's a big difference in whether you label it as a parcel or not. And I mean,
Okay.
I fought this battle several times myself.
and that's why I labeled it not part of subdivision.
Exactly.
okay. I guess that was my question. Is
Yeah. So I personally don't think, I would not be in favor of making it a lot, because it's 2 lots of record. So I would consider this a 6-lot subdivision, as long as the chronology shows that it's been 5
Okay,
years.
sure, we'll do that. Yep, we'll take care of that.
Do we want to vote on it, or?
no, I don't think there was a. I was just trying to clarify in my head whether that had to be a 6 or a 9 lot subdivision. Like we had a number of the
We
Iranian.
just recently, the last subdivision we did, which is one of them that I have, we did the same thing, remaining land of Andy and Suscoti.
Yeah, but that
It wasn't numbered.
I thought that wasn't.
Nothing.
Okay.
And all the ones I did in Dayton, all the ones I did all over the place, we always, remaining land of, and when you see that language, typically they're not gonna count that as a lot. And you're just gonna make sure it's been within 5 years. I was concerned here because there was 2 of them. It's like, okay, well, one of them has to count as a lot, but when I looked at it really good, it's 2 different lots of records, 2 different tax bills, 2 different lots of records, and it's separated by the road. So to me, that constitutes 2 separate lots of record.
Okay.
Okay, so in terms of the waivers, I don't know how you want to,
So we want to do those at this stage?
if you want to just take a look at the requests, if there's,
Usually, because they're not part of the sketch sheet.
Sheet.
Yeah. You know, it's not. Yeah.
and the, well, the reason that we were asking is because some of the things we're asking for waivers on are required for the preliminary submission. So we'll come in with this preliminary submission. I mean, we can come in with a preliminary submission without the information and then ask for the waivers. But I'd rather know at this stage, just, you know, in terms of, you know, the process, to know what the board's feelings are on.
What stage you do a site walk?
I think we gotta do it ASAP, because if we need to
We're gonna need to.
do high-intensity soil survey or any of these things, they're gonna do this before the snow flies.
Yep.
And
Otherwise,
that's,
they're messed up till spring.
and that's one of the things that we were requesting a waiver on. And I did bring, I also brought with me tonight, the USDA has updated maps.
Yeah.
And you can actually print a detailed report, site-specific. So I printed several copies till my printer ran out of ink.
Is that for your the soils?
Yes.
Okay.
And,
What's your preliminary soils in there?
they look pretty good. We have
They're all.
the soils that are up by the road. Let me get to the soils map. And I can hand these out to you. We have Brayton and Skelton.
So they're well drained.
Yeah. So if you want to take, are you interested in taking a look at these, or?
I'll look at it.
Okay.
Don?
Just so that we can kind of stay organized, this is the first I've heard of this. So in that the staff hasn't seen it and the board hasn't seen it, in fairness to the board, it may make sense to receive it, but not to comment on it this evening, okay? because the board needs time to look at it, but it'll be very helpful for your site walk. So what I might suggest would be is that you designate a time for a site walk before the snow starts to fly.
Take these with us.
Review this information, this is the first I've seen of it, and take time to digest this. This might be helpful for the site walk. And in addition to that, it may be advantageous to at least receive, but not comment on, to receive the request for the waivers. And that way, when you do your site walk, it may shed some light as to the validity of, or non-validity of the request for
Yeah,
waivers.
there's not much point in discussing it sight unseen.
Yeah, see the site, review what new information has just come in, and to receive the waivers. On the waivers, it's typically not received at site plan or sketch plan review, but given, one, the season, two, some of the requests that I'm knowledgeable of involve a lot of field work like topographics. And so the board, when you review the actual site and review this information that just came in tonight, I think it'll make a whole lot more sense for your next meeting. The other thing is, if the board would like to give some direction as to building envelopes. If building envelopes are created, then that also sheds light on the granting or the non-granting
Some
of the
testers.
waivers. So, but you need to give that direction to the applicant. If they're going to commit to those building envelopes, then I think that's going to shed some light on your waivers.
Yes,
Yeah.
they wouldn't mind anyway.
Exactly, but all this comes, some of this comes fresh tonight, so you need time to digest it.
Yeah, and just by way of information, Albert Frick has done the test pits, and we've been out and located them. And they primarily lie on the north side of the road. They lie south of the tree line. On Lot 2, he dug a test pit that's actually inside the tree line. But we anticipate that most of the development is going to lie to the south of the inner tree line on the sketch plan. There's the tree line.
What side of the road are you talking about?
The north side.
The north side.
And the south side is all open field.
Okay.
And the test pits are, I think what Frick is anticipating is that the septic systems are going to be far away from the road, then the homes, and then the wells closer to the road.
Okay.
Because that's kind of the lay of the land as well.
Drains
They
backwards.
both slope away from the road.
So
the
they'd be building well before you get into the flood zone.
way
related
before,
areas.
and the septic systems will be behind the houses, which will be nice. It'll make it easier for the well to be installed.
So the big thing is to get a site walk in before it snows and
Do we get road review committee to look at this? I mean, this is 6 new driveways and 600 feet, I mean, on a corner. I don't care about the road commissioner, I just want to know more about the road review. If we've got no internal roads, it's going to be 6 new driveways.
even though, as Andy says, it's a back road.
It's a back road, it's not a high travel road, I don't believe. And it's just, you know, the way I look at it, I'm looking at it for what's best for the town as well. And all we're doing is creating more road for the town to take care of in the future. We're making this, I mean, whether you have 6 driveways on a connector road, or whether you have the driveways off of Collapse Bridge Road, it's not like it's Route 202 or Route 5, where we have the urban compact that we have to deal with. It's the part, I think the curb cut thing is because they don't want to have to take over the state roads. The states will give them to the town once you have so many curb cuts.
And your reasoning for not having internal roads, to have all separate driveways, you don't mind that? What's your reasoning on that?
My reasoning on that is that if you have them build an internal road, odds are it's gonna go to town for town approval. And then it's gonna be one more road the town has to plow, which affects the taxpayers in Waterboro. So if you can accomplish the same thing without costing the taxpayers anything by not building another road in Waterboro, I'm all for it.
I just need to remember these when we have the next subdivision come in, that we
Well,
mandate
not
all
all
this stuff.
subdivisions have road frontage.
Right?
Could we send them a copy of this just as a courtesy, Tina?
Road review?
Send it to road review and ask them to just take a look at it.
Can I make a suggestion? I think it'd be a lot quicker just to have, to try to get 4 or 5 people together. It's gonna be more difficult than getting, road commissioner.
Just have him look at it at the same time that he's looking at this other stuff, the drainage.
There is a lot of traffic on that road. Fast.
You know, I'm only one person. I mean,
Big.
if you think there should be an interior road, I mean, I'm only one person.
I guess that's why I was talking to the road review committee, take a peek at it.
So obviously after work, for most of us, it's not practical to go for a site walk. I'm out of state this Saturday. I work on Sunday. That's kind of my schedule.
How about next,
This following Saturday,
the 14th?
I can't do this Saturday.
Saturday 14th.
Keep in
Yeah,
mind what,
that's
keep in
a
mind
good
what state you're in. I mean, you know, we could be
The 7th
6
is-
feet under.
I know. It's
Well, they were
pushing it.
saying Monday was 6 inches, now they're saying Monday nothing.
But still, this time of year, I mean, we might have a couple inches, but how does the 17th, I mean, the 14th, does that sound practical?
Saturday, sure.
Saturday,
Early?
14th? How's that for you?
Oh, that's fine. Yep. Just give me a time. I'll be there.
Is 8 too early?
Not for me.
No?
I'm up at 5.
7 then?
Oh, in the morning, that'd be
Yeah,
priceless,
7's
sure.
okay.
Be good for me.
7? 7, yeah, give us.
Well, I'd prefer 8.
Oh, it's only 45 minutes from
I'll
Wells!
set my alarm clock. 7 a.m.?
No,
Is
8.
that what
8
it is?
o'clock, at least 8 o'clock.
8
Come
a.m.?
on, it's a Saturday.
That's a
Eight.
little more civilized.
Wow, you
Is that something you
that's
can
like the
join
day,
us
it's like,
for,
Sundays
or
are
that's like lunchtime.
is that just?
Well, if you work in the States
cold
and New
enough.
Hampshire,
Yes,
you know.
it is.
They have that option.
Yeah. if I
So
may-
it sounds like most of us can make it that day.
No.
It's a Saturday, next Saturday.
A week
8
from this
o'clock?
Saturday.
The 14th.
14.
At 8 o'clock,
Which means on Friday, that means on the 13th, and there'll be a major snowstorm.
for sure.
Now, remember, we got the big dinner on the 13th.
Yes,
Great, yeah.
Looking forward to that.
We can work it off.
Yep. So is there anything else to cover on this tonight?
I think the only other thing that we were interested in talking with you about is when we do get to the point where we're ready for preliminary review, if we could possibly have the public hearing scheduled for that night as well.
I think at this point, there's, on the board, there's a little bit of conflict here, whether we're doing road frontage off of Clark's Bridge Road, or whether we do an interior road. We have the window envelopes we have to deal with,
Waiver request.
waiver request. I think that would probably be, I don't think we'd have enough, I personally don't think we'd have enough information.
I think usually the public hearing is part of the final process and not part of the preliminary.
Once we get
do send out
preliminary out.
notices for preliminary hearing, but for preliminary review, but
Yeah.
not the public hearing, should be done as part of the final, because
Okay.
Tom?
not enough set in stone at that point.
If the applicant would be able to provide to the board a fresh new map with that envelope well in advance of the 14th, that would give you also something to look at. I think that's a critical piece right now. And so, Fran, when do you think you
I
might
would
be able to
wanna-
provide that to the board?
The building envelope, there's also have to be some kind of deed restrictions in there, with some kind of restriction as to building out back.
Well, that would come
Especially if
probably
they're
in
not
the
gonna do-
preliminary stage, but for the purposes of the sidewalk, to have that,
Just a visual aid.
and given whatever the depth of that might be,
How do you get the information to the board? Do you mail it, or?
well, if you can send it in a e-file, then we can send it to everybody, plus we'll have paper copies.
Okay.
But I think that will be great for the board to have that, and depending on what the depth of that is, so that you can visualize it in relationship to the lay of the land, maybe drop a couple flags out to the rear end of it.
Well, what I'll do is I'll add the test pits too, and that will help.
Yeah. And that way you'll be able to translate that to field. But flagging's important, particularly if we do get a storm.
We'll
You'll
have
know what
100-foot tapes with us.
the
too.
limits are.
Yeah, if we have a storm, we can't see anything.
Yeah.
That
But
we
flagging
can't
it
see
does
that.
make a huge difference, though. I mean, you can drive up there now, too, and just see the lay of the land in the fields, where I would imagine most of
Well,
the
the grade,
development would go.
we've put grade stakes in on the lots, and the lots on the south side of the road, the two lots, that are on the corner of Middle Road and Clark's Bridge Road, those are all monumented, and they're grade stakes that are marking that division line.
In the application, I saw there was something about an easement may be required. Is that a drainage easement?
That's typically what the road commissioner will ask for. Again, that's at your preliminary and final stage, but I'm kind of alerting the board to it because at some point we've got to bring the road commissioner into the loop. And so I'm just waiting for the board to say, okay, it's time, get Doug involved now. And so, because it's already come up at a department head meeting with the town administrator. And so we were just waiting for this meeting.
And why do we need the road commissioner?
Because he's the one that's going to designate a road easement and recommend it to the planning board, as he typically has in the past. So, and he also wants to be involved. So
I will call him tomorrow and
well, I
set
think
something up.
we need the
to-
direction from the board first before, if the board feels it's timely to do that now, or it's premature. It's really a board decision.
Sooner the better, as far as I'm
That's
concerned.
what I would think, the earlier the better, just get them right in.
And it's good to link up with Mr. Foglio, Doug
Okay.
Foglio. And if you need his coordinates, just give us a ring tomorrow. And
Okay,
I think we can get you those.
okay, thanks.
He's a tough man to reach.
Okay.
if you-
Any other questions, or?
I think I'm all set for now.
Yeah, I think
Will the test pits be done by the time?
They're done, they're marked up in the field, and I can add them to the plan.
Well, they're just not showing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they weren't done when we prepared this.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you very much for your time.
One question. On the, I don't know, what side of the corner lot?
That's the south side of Clark's
The
Bridge.
south side of Clark's Bridge Road. On that side, there's two lots. We have a lot for one of them, one lot
Can't do it. Can't do it till you get approved.
Yeah.
now. Can you have it taken out of this process or not?
I don't believe so.
No.
At this point, he's gonna have to leave.
I can't say, you have to talk to your attorney, but I wouldn't think, I know you can't sell a lot in a subdivision until the subdivision's been approved. And right now, you're presenting it as a lot in a subdivision, so it's not, cannot be sold, you can't take a contract on it or anything until such time as it's an approved subdivision. That's state law. If you were to take it out of the subdivision and it's been 5 years, I'm not sure,
And
then you're
just-
gonna have 3 lots.
And
Well,
do it as a-
I think what we'd have to do is if we were to withdraw lot 6, then the lot that's shown as a remainder lot on that side would have to go into the subdivision.
Right. Something we have to get.
Just trade off.
On the south, yeah, trade it off, yeah. In other
Oh,
words,
I see, I see.
do you see what I'm saying? In other words,
Yeah,
we've shown,
right.
the part that is gonna stay with the farm, we would have to show that as a lot, because we're taking the lot on the south side and we're splitting it, and the remainder stays with the farm, that's an exempt lot, and then we have an exempt lot that we're dividing into 2 lots. So
And
what we'd
what's-
have to do is we'd have to take lot 6 and withdraw it, but give the remainder parcel a lot number. 'Cause we-
And what's the minimum lot size in AR?
80,000.
Right, so they meet that.
Yeah.
So you're cool there.
So that's the trade-off.
Okay,
And
so that could be done, it's just, we gotta figure out.
If you have the history, if you've had the last split was more than 5 years, then you could carve that out.
I'm not sure if you, because this is,
It would still be
I don't
3
know,
lots on that side, other than if no
Yeah.
matter what's left.
you know, I'd have to give that some more thought. I wasn't prepared for that, so I'm not really sure. I'd have to give that some more, I'm not sure if it's the same thing.
Well,
Because remaining land,
right.
I would think it would be. I would think it would be the same.
It would be, you're switching gears a little bit. You're taking a lot that's been in existence for 5 years, and you're splitting
The
it
whole
in
thing
2.
was one at one point.
Right.
The
So
whole
you've
thing is
got,
one right now.
so right now, we're taking we're keeping 1 lot in the family, and then the remainder, or the other parcel, is being split into 5 and 6.
So you're just switching that.
So you're,
I would think it'd be the same thing, yeah.
so you're, you know, but they've got to kind of decide what they want
But
to
it's
do.
time to do that now. not
Get a
before we
legal
get into-
opinion.
Before we get too much further,
Yeah.
right? But we can talk about that.
Would she have to resubmit sketch plan if she
Mhm.
does that?
Protocol-wise, it would be the best thing to do, because my review and everybody's review is based on what you have before you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it'd probably be
And this
another-
goes out the window.
It's a little more complex because the remaining parcel goes way out, way
Way out
down,
back,
way down
17
Middle
acres.
Road, and, yeah, it just
Behind
gets
all the
more,
lots that are-
yes, yeah, it gets a little more complicated from my perspective.
Well, it gives us a couple weeks to look into it.
Okay, well,
All
we'll
right.
see you on the 14th.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Fran, just for clarity, will you be able to get, could you designate a time you can get to the planning
By the
board?
end of the day on the 9th.
Ninth,
I will
okay.
have something up to you.
Great,
I don't want to make you a promise for Friday, so
Okay.
that'll give me,
that's perfect.
We're not here on Mondays anyway.
okay.
We're
so-
closed on
I'll be here Tuesday.
Oh, you'll come too?
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. And Dwayne will rejoin the board at this time.
Go out and around like that, all the way here. This is well drained, so that's well drained. Huh? No, this is, it's very well drained. It's just the very middle of the whole thing, with the exception of this one island, is poorly drained. So you can't go that far back on that lot to build on.
It's fully drained into the stream there.
No, it just means it's like clay. Like it, I don't know, this is water. And this is a stream coming down through.
Our next item on the agenda is a request to extend the conditional use that we granted on 12/12/12 to Penny and Adam Curtis. They're having a property dispute that's left them unable to start that addition that they wanted to do.
Continuation of the one they had
It will
before.
be
Right.
yes, probably a 1 year. I think, looking at the old cases, they usually give a 1 year extension.
I would make a motion to approve that extension.
I'd second that.
Any discussion? All in favor? It's unanimous. And we have the meeting minutes of October 16th. You've seen those?
Yeah.
There's not much to them. We have a motion to accept those.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Minutes as written.
Any discussion? All in favor? Under old business,
They needed 200 feet.
is it the 18th that would normally be our
Cisterns
next
still
meeting?
Yeah, and I was gonna suggest, I don't know how this will fly, but if we're already out on the sidewalk on the 14th, do you wanna just come over here and meet an hour or so afterwards, while we're already
8 o'clock in the morning?
We could meet here at 7 and then do the site walk at 8.
Don't laugh, I could do that, but I'm just up the street.
I just thought as long as we were already out.
Why not? As long as we're out.
Ooh, and Lakeside will have breakfast pizza.
No, go to Merrill and have breakfast
They
pizza.
have breakfast pizza there?
Oh, they get the best breakfast.
Do they really?
Yeah.
8 o'clock for
I
the
didn't even know they had breakfast pizza there.
It's Lakeside.
The reason I ask
Do you
is,
want to meet on the 14th after the sidewalk, or do you want to meet on the 18th at our regular time?
we'll see what people think. As it is right now, we don't have anything on the agenda. And what I was thinking maybe was, I don't know how much discussion's left on changing site plan, but maybe it would be good to just spend a meeting just on that and maybe finally put it behind us.
Well, let's do it on the 18th then, just on a regular meeting. If you're
Or
gonna
you
do
could
that.
do it tonight. I mean, it's.
Well, that's
I mean,
the thing,
it's
where
that
are we
simple.
at? I
It's
mean,
not terribly complicated. It's just
No.
a decision what direction you want to head in. I'd
forward.
suggest we
Natalie
just talk
made a
about it
bunch of
tonight. And
Yeah, I didn't
we're
like
here.
Natalie's
I mean,
comments.
you got a
I
good,
did.
Yeah, we have a
full
miracle
board.
This is it for us for now. We still short a member, right? Oh, yeah.
Sorry? Well, how do you feel about the notes that Natalie made on the site plan review?
Well, I thought it was kind of overkill myself. You know, we were so close and it just really set us back.
I thought she poked holes in what we had, and she's on target for things that may cause us problems in the future. And the way I understood it is that's what we're trying to close up, so long after we're gone, next board, next town officials don't have these problems to deal with. So maybe we ought to take some time to consider her notes.
It's only 20 minutes of 8, so why don't we skip Cisterns for now and go straight to site plan?
before we do that, just want to go back to the applicant, application that's presented tonight. When things come in on the spot, it's not fair to the staff or yourselves to receive things and try to respond to them. So some of those things are the first time I saw them tonight. And it's for that reason I just want the board to be aware that when you get something, on the spot, you can receive it, but it always puts the board in a bad place, in an awkward place to try to respond to something that you haven't had a chance to review. And Andy was right on. Go out, see the site. That's why I was pushing for those window envelopes. If they're going to suggest that, then you need to see what it is.
To show it.
Yeah, and I would love to see some flagging out there, because if there is inclement weather, you'll be able to see what you're dealing with in terms of limits of territory.
It's not an uncommon tactic to spring things like that, but I mean, thanks to you and everybody, we kind of got by it.
Yeah, I think it ended up good. It's just that, and the same thing on the sketch plan. You hate to say, "Oh, go back and start to base one," but it's a change.
You're going to do it, now's the time to do it now.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what sketch plan is.
So let's go through this, the sketch again and get it down. This out parceling I just heard of today. So, but they have a buyer, and in this market.
I think they just heard about it. Some of them heard about it tonight.
Yeah.
The meeting is done. We shouldn't be talking about this right now.
Well, no, we have every right to communicate as staff and board as to procedural to just make sure we follow that.
Just dangerous ground, that's all.
What's that?
We're just on dangerous ground, that's all. 'Cause it just
No, we're not.
one
I disagree
comment
with you,
gets
Andy.
out.
We're not on any dangerous ground at all. What we're doing is we're establishing a protocol and procedure to make sure that we do this properly. It's not anything else. It's not a closed door session. We're talking about procedure to make sure we get it right, because there is some uneasiness about having this number of curb cuts, and so it's going to be maybe difficult to arrive at consensus as to should these be straight on existing road frontage, or should there be a common drive, should there be one drive per two lots. Each suggestion makes it more and more complicated, particularly in the sales part.
It's not required at sketch plan.
Pardon me?
None of that is required at sketch plan.
No. So, but the board did well. I think you flushed out some of these things that.
While we're talking about procedure, I read the town charter today. I just kind of get curious. I read the town charter. There's a section there about road review committee. And I don't see where the road review committee has any authority on anything other than what is a town road. I don't see where they have any, because I read what their duties were and what their responsibility are. Road commissioner has authority over reviewing a plan, but I didn't see anything in the new town charter that gives the road review committee the authority to review a project. It just said that they're going to review and maintain the roads in Waterboro, town roads in Waterboro. This is not well, I guess that would be a town road. I guess that would be a town road in this case. But in a new subdivision road, if we're talking about procedure, I'm not sure if that town charter should be amended if you want road review committee, because I know that I've dealt with road review committee also, and I was kind of surprised to see that when I read through the town charter today, that they don't have any, under the new town charter, they have no authority to review something for planning board. I don't see any language in there for that at all. The road review committee is one paragraph, and this is what they're responsible for, and it just related to town roads, period. So I think when we start,
I think they're strictly advisory.
It's like all the committees, they should be.
What?
Well, another couple months, we won't have a road commissioner.
What?
Another couple months, we got a public works director.
Really?
We don't have a road commissioner after that, do we?
No,
No,
No.
no.
Is that July 1 though, not
July
January?
1, July 1.
So we'll just send the same thing to the road commissioner instead.
I'm not sure how to handle it. I'm just bringing it up that, you know, it's, if we're gonna follow the ordinance, you know, I'm trying to base, you know, my decisions on the board as to what the ordinance says. And there's nothing in the ordinance that says a guy has to have interior road. There's nothing in the ordinance that says that he can't have 5 curb cuts on Clark's Bridge Road. I mean, they're perfectly entitled by law to do that, as far as I'm concerned. There's nothing in the ordinance that says that we can mandate that they don't have 5 curb cuts.
There's no street management access ordinance on local roads in the town of Waterboro. If you went, for example, to the city of Sanford, you have a street access control ordinance.
Which considering we sit here talking about 2020 in Division of Waterboro, in the next breath, we've got 6 new driveways and 600 feet. It just, to me, it doesn't make any sense.
There's a surprising amount of traffic on that road. Very fast.
But it flies around that corner.
But on the other hand, would we have any authority to insist on an internal road, or would that just be advisory?
Not if we don't have a,
You could check with legal, but I don't see anything
It doesn't
that
sound like
would regulate these 6 curb cuts in your subdivision ordinance or any of your other regulations in the town. So they're entitled to do it if you want to, you know, ask legal, they can take a look at it too, but I don't see anything that would prohibit them from doing
Didn't we
it.
do that? I don't know what you call that road. Middle road? I don't, what is it now?
It's the middle road. Yeah.
Middle road.
Didn't we do that in that subdivision there? And then a few years later, everybody was back changing it to,
that was the shared driveway thing, right?
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
always a hot potato.
because they couldn't get along and decide who was gonna.
It's right there with the docks.
It's predictable.
But all of those had shared driveways.
And I think we could pursue a shared driveway thing.
Yeah, but there's no ordinance saying that we
No,
have.
there isn't, but I mean, we can ask the applicant if they'll.
Those are just, I think we've reversed 50% of the ones that have come to us
Yeah.
for shared drive, because it's hate and discontent 5 years down the
It's just
road.
a fight.
And people don't understand either that it's actually, usually it's a wide enough opening for 2 driveways. It's not 2 driveways squeezing
What
down
happens-
into one opening.
What happens, you have one
They
person
don't
in
get
one
that.
driveway that can afford to pave it, and you got another person that can't.
Yeah,
And
or
One
plow
person
it.
is doing all the
Plowing.
maintenance and
Nothing
all the
but trouble.
plowing, and the other person
Yeah.
ain't doing anything.
Yeah, it
And
sounds like
it's
That's what caused
commonly
the
a
big
fight.
stink, yeah.
The way I've handled it
In Wolfboro,
is we make it wider,
go without the.
it's a shared driveway.
Yeah.
He has a deed to this half of the driveway, they has a deed to that, so we're creating 2 driveways that are right parallel to each other. This is your driveway, that's your driveway, it's a shared
That
entrance.
road is perfect.
That's it. And that's how we got around that, when we got a shared driveway.
How many feet is considered a curb cut? You're talking.
So you only got one curb cut,
And there's no
it's a
length.
wider driveway, they got 15 feet on this side that belongs solely to him, and he's got an
Yeah.
easement that he can
No, but
cross
you know what
it
I'm saying about the
Then
length of a curb cut is.
back and forth.
We have nothing in our ordinance.
I think it's more of a number than the size.
Well, that'd be all right then.
So moving on to site plan?
I don't have anything with me on site plan. I don't
No, I
know.
don't either. Yeah, that's
No.
like- I
On
didn't
this,
review it
Yeah.
before coming in.
Yeah.
I reviewed it before, but I haven't, I had to look
I'd
at it
like to
again.
redo it.
if I can break it into one simple piece, okay, just so there, because we've got a full board here. The original thought a half a year ago was to see how we could break major versus minor site plans. What we could do internally. If Kurt comes in and he's just putting on a shed roof to his existing building and it's 900 square feet, does the board really need to, does the applicant need to wait 30 days or 45 days for Kurt to put his shed roof on and us to do a formal site plan review? Or can it be done by staff? That's how this all got started.
Right.
Yeah.
So we could put some common sense into site plan review. So we created the minor and major. I think what happened is when Natalie went to review it, she added a real deep legal context to it.
Jeez.
And suggesting that when you do a minor, it has to have a set of standards equal to or similar to major. Well, then why even have minor, in my opinion? Just review them all.
Well,
But remember why we went after this. We went after it to try to make some sense for simple site plan reviews that were done by fire chief, town planner, and CEO.
see, the way I see it is, the minor was smaller projects, they can move forward faster. What Natalie brings up is the point is they ought to be the same structure guidelines. You know, you shouldn't be able to build a weaker structure just because it's smaller.
There wouldn't be, though. The code enforcement officer would
Yeah,
catch
that would automatically be taken care of by CEO, building inspector. So nothing really has changed other than time expediency.
We were ready to vote this up or down before we sent it to Natalie. And like you said, we worked on it for half a year.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want to keep passing this back and forth with legal review and wasting
No.
time and money. Either we keep what we have, or there's only two other options. You do as Natalie has suggested you do.
Or we do as we do.
And which
Yes.
goes back to basically what you're doing now.
Because there were other things in here that are kind of important, like we're limiting the number of years that they can hold on to that permit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Sunset
Making
clauses.
it easier to govern it, easier for Tina and staff to look after it.
So basically, we can go with what Natalie says, and we can ignore and do what we're gonna do.
Right.
Precisely.
What's your
And-
take,
Or
Frank?
status quo.
What's
Or
your take?
status
Or
quo.
keep it
status
as
quo,
is.
or
yeah.
just make it close your
When
eyes.
someone
and all
gets
go
site
away.
plan approval and it lasts until the end of time.
But otherwise, I think what's going to happen, only my opinion, you're just going to keep beating it up and spend a lot of money on legal.
Right. Frank, what's your take on this? Where do you land on
Whatever
it?
the board wants to do, I don't care either way. You ask for legal counsel, you get it.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
ignore it, okay.
Natalie's done her
Remember that
job.
when
You
it
really
comes-
haven't
When
had
it
a
comes
chance
back
to
to us,
understand
it's
the-
remember? you
I saw
ignored legal
I saw
counsel?
what was written, and then I saw what Natalie's comments are, and I guess I didn't agree with what Natalie said, but I'm not a lawyer, you know, and I think she was looking at like the infinitesimal part of it, and I mean, I always look at these things as guides, you know, they're there for a quick look and everything like that. Any lawyer you hire can slice it a different direction, so I thought what was written was very well done. And accomplish what we're trying to get done.
Exactly.
Do you
I
see
agree.
anything in what Natalie wrote that we should put in any pieces
What
of
she
it?
was looking at it was in terms of defending it.
Yep.
Yes, we're going to court. Well,
I didn't see anything that
Ah.
she said that would change what I think about this.
No, I didn't either.
You know?
I
But,
think-
you know, like on the 2020 committee, we were gonna put out a contract for the sewer company. And her recommendation
Oh,
was
gosh.
that we spend thousands and thousands of dollars reviewing this contract. And, you know, maybe that was appropriate, maybe it wasn't. But we decided not to do that, and we just sailed ahead. Great. I mean, that time we got lucky, I guess, but.
for Kirkman, because you'll appreciate this, we went to a AIA master document.
Oh, did
We
you?
took the Chicago attorney's language, and we ended up with
Cut and paste it right in?
Yeah, we pasted it right in and saved multiple thousands of dollars. And it worked well with the sewer company. You know, nobody defaulted. Everything got done. I mean, there were still arbitration
And then
clauses
some.
Yeah.
and everything else in it.
Andy, what's your take on it?
I'd have to review it again. I mean, I thought what Natalie did was pretty good, but I say like Judy, she really looking at every legal aspect of it, which makes it look a lot more complicated, but in gist, it accomplishes what we wanted to accomplish. I mean, it cleans up some of the loose ends, but it just seems like such a complicated document.
Maybe we could
You
find
know,
that happy
I didn't
medium.
know if we could kind of
But she makes
just
it,
clean it up a little bit.
I think the key word, she makes it a defendable document.
Defendable.
She makes it defendable.
And so the board knows, staff will support whatever you say. If you say, hey, we've invested this money with Natalie, let's go with it. It makes it more defensible. Should we ever have to be in court? Let's go with
I'd
it.
just like to read it over again.
You know,
I'm with Andy. How about we go one more meeting and then we send it through?
Well, so far, we don't have anything else for the 18th. Is it worth coming in?
Just-
so
Let everybody review this?
Do it the 18th,
And we'll
sure.
get it done and over with one way or another. We go.
I'll get it done.
Okay.
So we'll review what Natalie said.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if everyone still has a copy of this.
I'll email it.
All right.
Thank you.
and we'll make a final decision on the 18th. It would be nice,
Okay. Deal.
because I think it's a lot of work and it's a lot of good work. So,
Yeah, I don't want
Just
to give
keep-
up on it now.
No.
no,
Oh,
it's-
absolutely.
no, a lot of this
I'm
is,
just, because there's a couple different opinions on where to go. One more time around, and we'll just,
Yep.
one way or another, it gets done on
That's
the
it.
18th.
a final decision.
Fine.
The last thing we have is the budget request for, this says 2015, is that,
Because it's technically called,
okay.
because
And-
it's 2014, 2015, they would pick the higher number. But this year is 2014.
Okay. I won't pretend to understand that, but that's what it is. It's not a
Sounds really
typo.
far away, doesn't it? It's July 1st, 2014 to June 30th, 2015, so we call it 2000.
I went over this with Tina in anticipation of looking at possibly changing the village zone and the added legal fees that would bring to
How
us.
much higher are you gonna raise the legal?
Pardon me?
How much higher are we gonna raise the legal?
We're gonna raise it to $4,000.
I think it ought to be 5.
It will still, well, this will still be a zero-sum budget.
So where do we take it out of then?
Well,
We've been cutting our legal back for the last 4 years.
yes, it
Every year.
was
Somebody else
it was
has been taking it out.
$3,000 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same token, we had her in here for that review of our questions that David had us make it up and all the review. And that was the most productive session I've had with a lawyer in the building in 20 years. That was great.
Well, it all comes from our salary was actually really inflated. And we can take the money from that, still have more than enough.
Well, it's easy to say your salary's inflated, but I've never said that myself.
There's more in the budget.
Chairman, yeah. It would like nice to have a chairman's
There's
salary.
more money in the budget than we need for salaries for the next year.
At
Okay.
one time, my monies that were just for the board, for board meetings, were taken out of that line. And then when I went in Tom's budget for planning department, those monies stayed in there. So there's $4,000 in there more than
The
needs.
good news is I think we can move things around, stay at a zero increase. And if we do a village rezoning, we're gonna have to do a lot of advertising and we're not gonna be able to pass it on to the applicant because we are the applicant. So it's gonna bump up the advertising to $1,100 from $200.
So we have on salaries, we're basically doubled for what we need.
Right.
So we have
Close to
42.
it.
So we have 4,200 in there that we can
Well,
pull
we're
out.
gonna keep 45, we're gonna bump up legal 3,000, and then
4,000.
to
Bump it up,
4,000.
okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It'll be a total of
There
4,000,
you go.
and then advertising will be a total of 1,100. And that'll leave us at break even with the last year's budget.
You probably should vote on that so that we can.
Yeah, we did last year, I saw that in our
Okay.
notes from last year.
So the salaries would be 4,500, supplies 245, legal 4,000, consultants 600, advertising 1,100, incidentals 500, for a total of 10,945.
What's consultants for? When we have to go to SR, whatever that thing is.
Usually the consultant's fees are reimbursed by the applicant.
Okay.
But
if we-
sometimes, like in this
if
case,
at some
that could
point
be
we
us.
need a consultant for,
Sometimes when you ask for a peer review and you bring in a third party, then it becomes a wash, but you have some monies that to proceed unless the applicant's paying directly for that engineering review.
Okay.
And there may be a reason to have a specialist come in that's not related to any application. When you're looking at a potential rezoning, you might want to do some more detailed field work. For example, and this has nothing to do with nothing, okay? But there's always been a question about the boundary of the library. And so, because we had no resources to do that, I was able to call upon a new engineering company and try to introduce them to the town, and they did it pro bono, so that we were able to get those services. But we didn't have any money to do that. But yet it was critical that we defined where the boundaries were of that site. So there, things pop up. It's better to have a little security blanket there for yourselves. And
So basically, we're doing shifting money from salaries into these other departments.
So I can make a motion to accept it as recently written by or voiced by Tina.
As amended by Tina.
Amended.
I don't know if are you gonna have a lot more work to do, following up with the 2020 recommendations, I mean,
That could be a factor, and this would be just as effective for that, like increasing the legal and increasing advertising.
The answer to David's question is yes.
Yes.
Hey.
There'll be needs for additional monies to take it to the next step.
If, like, say we get into the year and we find out we're not using legal, but we need something else, you know, we need to get maps made or something like that, so we need supplies. Can you, once the budget's met, can you move stuff inside a department around?
as far as I'm concerned, you can't.
Inside the budget.
I mean, that's,
Our
I
new
mean, it's
town-
QuickBooks, I can do it really easy with QuickBooks.
However, our new town administrator is going very quickly to a line item budget.
So if you
right
don't,
now, we can move them around.
if you don't use it, you lose it?
Well, I don't know if
If
you
you
go that
don't
far.
use, you use it, somebody else takes it.
I think
So we
it-
do like Parks and Rec?
I think you have some flexibility.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it puts us in good shape for next year, you know, we're doing something about it. And if we need to increase it next year, then we'll do it.
Yeah.
The fact is, we're not gonna use $8,400 in
Right.
salaries anyway, so why keep $8,400 if we know we're not gonna use it?
Why don't we go to a 14-person
We have
board?
a chance of using it.
Yeah.
We can double what we make.
It's one of those things, you know, that, Mad Magazine used to be
increase our
great for that,
salary.
so we're sitting here a year from now, I'm gonna say, remember you said last year, Andy, we'll never use that much?
yeah.
The annual budget,
8,500
$8,500,
dollars.
well, it's not, it doesn't come out to that.
Yeah, when do we have,
Right
when
now,
have
the
we,
salaries don't come out to that.
Not
when
even
have we had a
close.
COLA raise?
Yeah. that's what I
We
said.
haven't had a COLA raise in a long time.
What's
CPI, no COLA.
1.1% this year, wasn't it?
And we have Tina to thank for pointing that out.
That we didn't get a COLA raise?
No, that we can move that we can move some of that money out of salaries to where we could use it. Was that a motion from you, Frank?
I think that was.
I'll second
A
that.
second, any more discussion? All in favor? It's unanimous.
This will be delivered to the town administrator tomorrow morning.
Yeah, you said it was urgent that we vote on it tonight. All right, thanks.
It was a good move,
Is it
Tina.
okay if I, Mr. Chairman, deliver it to the town administrator tomorrow?
Of
So
course.
we were pressured into doing our budget by the town administrator, is that the way I just read
It's
this?
the iron
Just checking.
Yeah.
You were encouraged.
Don't we usually do it like a month after they're due?
Yeah.
Tom, did you have anything you wanted to talk
I'm
about?
good, I'm good. Covered it.
So now it's still kind of open for the 18th, but we have at least a vote on site plan.
And the next meeting is, we can adjourn this meeting, because that's far enough away to do on the 14th.
14.
To 8 o'clock AM, 8 AM on the 14th, that's far enough away for me to be able to do notices and stuff.
Well, if you
Do we
just,
need-
if we continue it, it just becomes a continuation, right? And then we just have to adjourn it at the 14th.
Okay, if you want to do it that way.
Then we don't have to advertise it, right?
I'll
I think we
post it
still have to
anyway.
have
I just post it, okay.
So we have to be in a meeting to do a site walk?
You
Not
do,
to
but you
show
can't,
my ignorance,
but you can't, it's like a workshop, you can't vote on
No,
anything or
no.
anything else.
so we won't.
We have to have
adjourn
minutes of it.
Yeah, usually we, yeah, okay, so you're gonna continue the meeting to the 14th.
tonight. And our next meeting is on the 18th at 7
Yeah.
o'clock.
You
No,
guys
our
aren't gonna
next
kick me
meeting
out of
is
the
on the
sidewalk, are
14th
you?
at 8 AM.
Yeah,
Say
you
again?
can't go.
Dude, I'll walk off the back of my property and beat you there.
You're gonna get your feet
I
wet.
guarantee that.
I'll set my dog, I guarantee I'll set my dog loose and I'll be the only one there.
That just guaranteed that we'll have snow if you said you're gonna walk there.
Perfect. That's the only thing I got left running is a snowmobile.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see. I mean, a lot of times we don't have real snow until Christmas.
And then again,
It's Maine.
Literally every week they're saying snow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
Any
ice
other
is
business?
not-
Tina, anybody?
No, just want a motion to continue to the 14th.
Oh, that's right, it'll be a continued.
Okay, I can't get in there.
I'll make a motion to continue our meeting to the 18th,
14.
14th. Thank you.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor? Dwayne abstains.
Right now, the 14th is forecasted to be a high of 35 degrees.
Wow.
Yeah.
T-shirt weather.
Not at 8 o'clock
That ain't
in
8
the
o'clock in
morning.
the morning.
8 o'clock in the morning can probably be pretty close to 16.